Back again for the Capricorn. Very warm welcome to those of you who are new. Those of you who are returning, thank you. If you're wanting to make a booking, the link will be directly below. And I'm also going to be doing a live update later connected to the Twin Flame Path. And I'm yet to complete the ones for March for Twin Flame by Zodiac sign. So stay tuned. Click the bell for the notifications, and that way when I am live during the month for the astrology updates, I do answer questions during the feed. Generally, I try and get all the information out, and then if there's any questions that you've got connected to the video or in relation to what's going on with you, I will answer. Now, I'll get the cards ready. Capricorn, geez. You guys have been in it the last 3 months, and that's more than likely because of the transit of planets, as well as where you are in your life, as well as the nodes being in Capricorn and Cancer. You guys are trying to finalize tasks. You're trying to get everything balanced. You're reflecting back on how things were, and it's a deep time of reflection for you. It's also a time where there may be, for those of you who are, dealing with family-related dynamics, you can be super strict with it, but I see you being very quiet and observant. That can be some of you who have been dealing with co-parenting. There may be issues in that domain. And there was a song that came through for you guys, and it was the summer of '69. It's almost like you're remembering back to the nostalgic times of when things were simpler and how you got so cooped up in the seriousness of life. And it's like whatever's going on around you, it's bringing out, Saturn for you at the moment is causing a lot of restrictions. It's the end of an old chapter and the beginning of a new chapter for you. And how do I put it? It's making you look at everything with fresh eyes, but it's also making those wounds with Aries come through. And how would I put it? You're looking at it nostalgically, so of how things used to be, how you want them to be. And, if you had only taken a left or a right, how things may have been very, very different. You can also be cleaning up mess after people, and that can be causing some frustration. If you've got the best of intentions and trying to make the best of very sloppy situations, there's a heavy focus at the moment on, what you feel is right for your finances and what another person feels is right. For those of you who are in a joint venture, that can be connected to business. Hi, Joyce. It could also be very separately, within a relationship. It's like you'll focus on finances. There might be a clash of wills, and you can see the bigger picture. You can see the other side of things in order to have that new beginning, what it's going to take to achieve that. But you're tired of having that frequency where, you need to be the responsible one. You need to, and the Summer of '69 song for you guys that was coming through, again, I'm feeling nostalgia to the simpler times. And things being more balanced, things being simple, but the shades of grey in between. You're tired of looking at the shades of grey in between because it's almost like an old patterning that you've had to be very tolerant and patient towards some things. If you're on the fence, as I mentioned in the other videos, something that come through very heavy for you guys, if you've been sticking around for another person, you may get to the point you just walk away. And it can be simply for a temporary moment or could be for a permanent moment. This can be in any domain in your life. Wherever you're getting the most conflict from, it just feels that vice, the tight grip of it. Now, this could overall be due to Mercury retrograde, but it does feel very interesting. Almost, if another card comes upside down, I'm going to read them all upright. No, it didn't. Okay. Wow. You feel your world's upside down. You really do. And you're trying to bring it back the right way. Some of it, again, could very much be that you're wanting to go back to a particular person, or you're wanting to go back to being a particular way. Some of you can't see how you're going to get out of a situation at work. There might be a lot of obligations going on. And you've just got to buckle down and work through it, but you can't see no end to what you're dealing with. You thought some tasks, again, were going to be finalised. And I'm seeing the moon energy really hindering it and planetary aspects really hindering it. So you've got visualisation. And again, it might be your blocked third eye. It can be headaches. The moon frequency is going to bring that through. And that will be, you know, the beginning of the month where the moon's positioned in Pisces. And I feel it's on the 6th, but I'll do the astrology separately. But there is another transit on the 20th where it's going to be a full moon. Those two time frames I'm feeling are really relevant for you. The first moon phase is at 29 degrees. So it's almost like whatever's chucked in front of you, you're going to have to deal with it. The 29-degree mark denotes, you know, it's too late to change what is. You need to deal with it as is. And that's why I've been saying to everyone, get everything done that you need to get done, because at that 29-degree point, it's like, there's the chaos. What are you going to do with it? You're going to have to work 20 times harder to achieve those tasks. And it's going to feel, on top of the already stressed communication factor, transportation factor, movement, you're going to have that dynamic going on too. In your finances, it may be that you're wanting more for yourself and you're sharing your cash component. It's going elsewhere. Can be towards bills, can be towards maintaining your life. And at the same time, it's like you might be working and dealing with things outside of your connection. So it's expenses very separate. You're wanting more for yourself, and there isn't, how do I put it? It's all about the responsibility. It can also be delaying where you're working away from your love interest if you're partnered, where you're working long hours and the time frame to have those connections is being hindered during March. So again, I am sensing for all of us collectively, it's going to be a very hectic time. There's a venture you want to bring about. Some of you are wanting to start a business. Some of you are wanting to do something with that financial component. Things aren't balanced enough yet to get that up and off the ground. So you're trying to maintain, you know, the frequency of moving forward, but there's other things coming at you at left field at a financial level that are creating an imbalance. Whatever isn't balanced within your books, I do feel by mid-month, you're going to gain clarity into how to bring that balance about. So don't look at it as a bad thing, you know, and don't look at it either as a permanent thing, because again, we can actually manifest that frequency. Again, I'm seeing that you guys aren't going to feel as grounded within family, and that can even be within a relationship. There are dynamics coming up. Now, the reason it's there is for you or that person to learn something. And it's about detaching from codependent patterns. If that codependent pattern is there and they're in a karmic relationship, it's what's going to break it. Because there is the potential moving from the first all the way through to the end of the month that if something isn't balanced, solutions are going to come, but you're going to have to react. And potentially, if you do react in a negative turn, you know, it can break down situations. It's actually a risky time to get triggered. So you're going to have to stay as grounded as possible. But if you felt even prior to Mercury retrograde that things weren't balanced, it's really going to show it, and it's going to cement your ideas. And there can be home truths coming through. Hi, Star Moon. So those home truths and revelations that can come through are epiphany moments, and they're seeing a situation for what it really is. And that's really why I was saying it felt like Venus retrograde, because it's like we're actually going to have, you know, the veil's going to be thin. You can see the afterlife more so. So you may feel the spirit energy around you more so. If you're a seer, you could actually see your past over loved ones more so during this time. But at the same time, your instincts are going to be heightened, but you've got to be careful that it doesn't get into your third eye, where it's the ego operating your fear-based frequency, because then your mind goes in circles. I do feel you're going to be too busy to have time with family, and some of you have separated from a family and you're trying to co-parent, and it's feeling very imbalanced, and something's going to change in that area, but it's going to be on your side of the fence because you're seeing it, and it's just not, it's not manageable ongoing to remain in that frequency. So it can be conversations coming up if you co-parenting. Yeah, it's like you've reached your limit with the situation. It's quite difficult. Let it be, let it flow. Yeah, they're really fastly moving forward. And again, that will be with the note, with the nodes in Cancer and Capricorn. It's like, all right, okay, let me look over the past. What do I now do to move forward? With Chiron and Aries, it's okay, well, this made me feel some particular way, but now I've got to be very direct, and it can be very forceful communication where it's, hey, you know, there's a point where you're going beyond the limit, and it feels for you guys that that frequency is coming through due to an imbalance and having to move forward fiercely, even if it is feeling like smoke and mirrors. The conflict around you is a situation isn't looking like it's voting so well. So it might be due to exhaustion and trying to problem solve so much that you're not seeing a way out of a situation. You have to go straight through the middle, which is common. I mean, you know, sometimes we think in time there will be a solution, or in time the universe will force our hand. But in time, sometimes it takes us to be broken down to rise up like the phoenix. It does, but see, a lot of the astrology at the moment, when you really get into it, star and moon, is that last year, probably since 2016, we were going through a process because we were moving into the age of Aquarius. So what is happening at the moment is we're going through a transformative state to get into our emotions and get into alignment. So we had 2016, progression and movement was diabolical. 2017, we saw an inch of that. We saw the potentiality. It was then taken. 2018, mass purging, get to the root of your wounds, inner child healing. 2019, let's get this shit right. So what do we have to do on our side of the fence? And look, if you're a twin flame and you're tuning into it, and whoever you are, energetically, in 24 hours, you can get into alignment, but it's about detaching from what you're seeing and what you're experiencing. Look at astrology as a weather forecast, not a defining energy that it's so. You could have the lowest of readings coming through. If you can shift your perspective, you can directly shift the outcome. So don't ever feel it's cemented. See if it directly relates to you. You could be at the higher frequency or the lower, and then directly do what you feel is relevant on your side of the fence to get into alignment and look at it from a different perspective, and that can shift you faster. Now, the unseen is your ability to actually manifest. So it's about your chakras and you not seeing what you can actually do on your side of the fence to achieve the movement forward. Your overall energy, you're not saying that there's love there for you, and it may be that you're thinking of a person you're in love with but you're not currently with them. You do feel very spiritually, energetically connected to a person in particular, but you're wanting your environment to be grounded before you open your heart, and you're not willing to until you feel grounded, because you know you'll be projecting at each other. So this feels more for those of you who are in a spiritual connection, high vibration soulmate / twin flame. Again, I'm doing that video separately, but that's the energy coming through. Overall, for the energy of love, again, I'm feeling a spiritual path. You're really trying to get back on track to what you think is correct for you in love. And if you're in a connection that is not, I feel you guys are really going to be looking at that this month and saying, hey, unless this is in my higher good, I'm not just a bank. I'm more than that. Hi, love. I'm more than that. I need more from this situation. And again, the Summer of 69 song is like you're retreating back, you're looking back over old ground, and you're trying to find point where you went. Because it's like you've been lost in the fog. It's been giving for other people, being the high vibration person. I mean, that can be for another individual as well in a codependent karmic connection. And suddenly it's like you're looking at it and you're saying, gosh, where did I go? Getting their water can actually help you, and that's coming to me as a download, but you're shedding your skin to a point similar to a snake that you're bringing about the new you, which may not be, and especially in readings when we hit a new person's coming into your life, we all evolve, okay? At some point we do evolve. If we're really stuck and we're not wanting to, what can happen is the universe forces our hand. So regardless, we all change. Follow your intuition. Listen to what you're seeing and sensing this week moving into March, because it's going to give you more clarity. More clarity is coming to you during the month. Don't let it get to a point where you blow up. There is potential for that for all of us this month, especially with people projecting towards us. Let go of what you feel doesn't serve you. And I do feel this is a letting go of things, old paradigms, old belief systems, old patterns, old wounds, and the way you hold them within relationships. I do feel you'll be letting go of what no longer serves you. If the relationship you're in serves you, you'll remain. If it doesn't, you'll leave it. But you're facing a shadow. And this is the end of the nodes, I believe, in Capricorn, and it shifts. And it's very interesting. Even the moon shifts. Okay, the process might feel yucky, and you're tired of having the same thing. You're tired of people not respecting you. You're tired of you doing this to yourself in some shape or form as well, because it can go both sides. It can be either you directly doing this to you or external parties doing this to you where you're not feeling valued. And the interesting thing is, moving into the first, there is that dynamic where we're all wanting to be individual, and we're asserting our belief systems. And this was a potential for all of 2019. Moving into, Chiron's transition with these wounds, and that's another reason why this is all here and it's taking so bloody long. If we move through our wounds quicker, it won't matter what's happening with astrology, because you would have evolved before that point. But if you fight it, it's all the way through to 2024, because Chiron in Aries is a transit. Some planets take many, many years. We're only halfway through the Pisces transit. Communication, really going inside to a point you can actually meditate upon what you feel's right. It's not about what other people's opinions are. Some of you are really struggling due to other paradigms and belief systems and conditionings at childhood. But now you're looking at it going, what about me? What about what I want? Does it matter what other people want? Because I'm doing something potentially that other people want, and maybe it's not so great. Again, feminine energy. The nodes do denote female energies, mother. This can be co-parenting with a mother. It can be an ex. It can be childhood wounds. This is all coming up for us collectively. You need to get grounded. You need to nurture that energy. You need to love yourself similar to what a parent would. The high vibration parent you wished you had if you had a pretty crappy parent. No judgment. But, being that nab man to yourself with your pain body experience and trying to do the best for you, what you feel today is correct for you. And that's on any given day, especially when we're really triggered. We're looking at videos, we're looking for a solution outside of ourselves. Yes, we can gain guidance from videos, from readers, from psychics, from twin flame readers. But the only person who can do the work is you. So once you're in alignment to do that, it's that you're upgraded. When we're going through aspects of our awakening, it happens over a very long time. It doesn't happen like that. When we get triggered, we shut it down. When we're ready to deal with that adversity and that paradigm, it then activates again, and you'll get the Kundalini activating, and you'll have more energy. So it's almost like you can get sick, you can get run down, 24-hour spin, which can be ascension flu. You're back up again and you're dealing with something. And I feel this is coming up for you guys. It's like you're shedding the skin and you're ready for that next cycle. Yeah, again. Don't get stressed by lack of communication, guys, even cross watchers. It's okay to not communicate and listen to your thoughts. You need to. You can't get into alignment unless you do know yourself. And we're always evolving, so we're continually getting to know ourselves. I had a download the other day in relation to black sheep, and it's very common in a twin flame journey. Interestingly enough, I had a conversation with my sister. It was during a live session. There was a trigger point. And again, me believing black sheep, because there's always trigger points. We had a conversation. It was an abrupt conversation at first. This was months ago. And then we got down to the conversation. Okay, what exactly is going on? Why are you triggered? What's happened? And she told me a few things on her side of the fence. And it was interesting because I saw an aspect of myself and her, and I was like, wow. The reality is, for those twin flames out there, or the black sheeps believers, we all are black sheeps. But while we're in that consciousness of believing we're the black sheep, believe me, your family members feel that too. And, you know, with that energy, it's just we're all different and unique in our own right. Yes, some may group together like a clan within a family. So our paradigm is, hey, we're the black sheep, because we actually don't do that. But they potentially feel they're the black sheep too. So it's disconnecting from that. You know what I mean? And besides, I'm Kiwi, so I'm definitely a black sheep. I'm Kiwi, Turkish, English, Irish, and French. So I'm a bit some. Any questions? Usually your children will be, especially if you're, you know, going through an awakening, your children will go through that this year, and I have mentioned that. So, yeah, you will get a point where you'll feel that, you know, especially when you're going through a transformation, your children very shortly after will go through that too. I'm actually sensing something in your house at the moment. Try and cleanse your house, Style, because there's a heavy energy in there at the moment. It's a bit dark. Any questions for Capricorns? Yeah, kids are insane at the moment. They're driving me batshit crazy. I said to my friend, I'm getting a mini van and I'm going to go AWOL. I'm going to go and hide. Yes, they do awaken. I'm with mine at the moment. Permanently, I should say. Yeah, they do. But it's about detaching from it. And, you know, I did notice that it did come down to me, because my paradigm and my belief system, within 24 hours, as soon as it shifted, I had contact. You have to detach from the expectation. You've got to detach from the pain, the past, and then when you are in release mode, what you find is it comes back and you then deal with that kind of face on. Yeah. One of your children may be extremely unique, and that tends to happen as well, where they're very quiet, they're very visual, they can look moody and broody. They're usually the intuitive, and they will have energies tag onto them and bring them in. And if they're in an energy where they're negative and down, because they're, you know, kind of gauging their spiritual gifts and they don't know it quite, they can manifest that frequency and bring it in. So you'll have to regularly cleanse your house. Most welcome. I'll have to check your channel. My youngest is that, yeah. Do they have dark hair? Like I'm seeing like broody eyebrows. Detach from it though, you know, detach from the mindset of toxic, because you're continuing to manifest it. Believe in change, believe in potential change. The toxicity is generally towards self. As soon as you release it energetically, they start doing the work to do that. Anyway, yeah, I'm saying the dark brown hair child. He's the energy that has them latching on. He's very energetically psychic. I'm actually seeing that he sees other children in the home. Is your home an old home? Yeah, the bedroom, star and moon. Okay, yeah, because I was picking a very old home. Does that have floorboards in the bedroom and perhaps even an antique bed? It can be potentially, I'm seeing how the room was set up, prior. But now I'm seeing like a bed. It could even be, it doesn't feel like a poster bed. It's like a, do you have the bed where the door is, you're looking at the room, when you come in, how do I put it? The wall and the door is on the left. So there's a wall and then the bed is to the right as you walk in. That's what I'm saying. It's like looking into the room as you open the door and your bed's to the right. Okay, now on the bed, is it a metal or chrome bed? You know, is it like a brass sort of bed? Okay, now wood floorboards, am I correct? Because it's quite a dark room. That's the room the children are in. That room needs to be cleansed, okay, because it used to be a child's playroom. Yes, okay, just cleanse that room. Yeah. And get him some crystals. Get some crystals put through the house because the the room is, yeah, but it's, I'm even seeing the windows being quite long and, I'm seeing them like, look, again, when I see things, it can be past energy or can be current. That's why I check in with you. The children's energy is in that room. When he goes in there, there's a bathroom correlating with it. Am I correct? Around the corner, is there a bathroom? Is it in close proximity to this bedroom? Because I'm feeling a very damp energy. Good old Mercury retrograde. Star moon, is there a bathroom? Okay, yes. So usually when there's damp, check if there's any leaks, number one. If there's leaks, get them dealt with before, as soon as you can. The energy, however, it can act as a portal with the water and the frequency. So potentially this month it's going to be really heavy. So deal with the leak because that can manifest energies. Get some crystals and open the room up and smudge it. Also put a bowl of water under the bed to deplete that energy and throw it out each day for a week. Okay? Good. I'm glad the leak's fixed. Get some crystals to protect you for spiritual attack. That can be like black onyx, black tourmaline. Also get a amethyst. But you need to get something for each corner of the house. When your son comes into the house, try and weekly cleanse it. If he's negative and he's very agitated, cleanse him before he walks in or just get him to go have a shower. He won't know anything and just get him to go have a shower. And then help him purge that off because he's actually allowing them to latch on and come in the house. Now, where the child's school is, does he walk home? Then he doesn't need it, Della. If a crystal breaks, he doesn't need it. He can heal himself naturally. So try and helps with, addictions and problems with that. So it can be that crystal served its purpose, but he's got to, and he may not need it. So just trust in the process. Okay, is there a graveyard close to the school? In the transit to school and back, is there a graveyard? Okay, double check on the map. Okay, so the energy, what's happening is when he's coming home, I'm feeling there's a correlation to a person at school who's recently lost someone. The energy has tagged onto your child. The problem is when you're spiritual and you're psychic, it's there forever. You can't bloody get rid of it. So the energies in his room is going to be problematic. Number one, his room needs to be set up a particular way. So in the bedroom, the bed, okay, this is the bed, right? The feet of the bed can never be facing out a window, out a door, or near a mirror. Try to not have mirrors in the bedroom because as a psychic person, through your feet is your psychic portal. So you can energetically be pulled off your bed. Crystals in the room will protect it. Light coming in daily will help refresh that frequency. Showers, crystals to protect. And when they talk to you about things they're experiencing, it helps them understand it. But he needs to know that if it's getting too much for him, he needs to say go. And that's until he can develop his spiritual gift. But getting the crystals in the house will mean that when he's coming home, it'll get to a controlled environment because he'll get to a point, he'll have very broken sleep. It'll appear like sleep apnea, but it's because he's so bloody shit scared to go to sleep. It's not too bad, but, you know, coming side on from the bed is okay, but at the feet, no shiny surfaces like a TV that reflects, a window that is at feet level, so the feet would be facing out the door or out a window or towards a mirror. That's a no. That's a, you know, you need to at least get a cabinet that will be higher than the bed so that that energy and the frequency from the feet can be blocked, because they'll enter the room at night and they'll interrupt them. But yeah, get the crystals, you know, go to a spiritual store, look on the internet. Again, if you need smudge sticks and things like that, I've got them on the shop on the website. But regularly cleanse them, and you'll know because the attitude will change, the energy in the house will change, it'll feel very dark and heavy, and you can deal with it then. Yeah, that's okay. That's fine. That helps. But he'll still get them coming into his room. But it's just an additional way you can actually help that slow down. But he still will have them into the room regardless. And that's why I suggested the crystals. But he needs to know when you'll find if he's very fatigued, they'll be more active. And this month's pretty high for it. So just be mindful that if he's acting out, it's because of that. Anyway, I'll let you go. If you do want a booking, you can go to the link and I'll come back for the other videos.